Hello everyone, thank you for joining me today. It's Ms. Doubrley. We are in week 5 of the spring term. That means actually we're going to be doing our strike testing this week. And so we will be looking at our 8-day material for fundamentals. So this week we're going to be building really on what we've been doing the last couple of weeks. We're going to be taking a look at self-defense kata number 1, naming technique still, be doing both the front and back halves. We will be doing our open hand strike. So we're going to do that stationary, then we're going to go ahead and add that movement like we did last week. We're going to add a little bit of self-defense vocalization as well to that. So that's going to be exciting, give you a chance to use your voice in self-defense. And we're also going to be looking at that reverse elbow strike. Again, with our hand, with a shield, and with that little more challenging version with the step through. So really just building on what we've been doing. But let's start officially with our bowing. If you'll go ahead and join me, please. Sharyut Kanai. Tenets of Taekwondo begin. Courtesy, humility, integrity, perseverance, self-control, indomitable spirit. Kine. All right, let's start this week, as we do all weeks, by warming up. We're going to begin with our shift of the wedge guard, which we looked at last week. Now again, for the wedge guard shift, really what you want to make sure you do first, kind of the most important thing, is that you change your focus. So when you're looking at a bad guy on this side, and you need to deal with the bad guy on this side, you actually need to move your eyes first. The arms are pretty simple once you've actually changed where you're looking. But let's go ahead and practice this. You'll just watch this first time, then we'll do it together. So I'm going to be in a wedge guard left side forward. So I'm looking that way because that's where my bad guy's at. Now I need to shift my focus. First I'm going to shift my eyes. Then I'm going to just switch that guard. Okay? Let's go ahead and try that together. You'll go ahead and get into a wedge guard, left side forward, looking at your bad guy. Right? And then as I say to move your eyes, you'll move your eyes. And as I say to move your arms, you'll move your arms. Let's try that together. So we're looking left, move your eyes, move your arms. Eyes, arms. Eyes, arms. Eyes, arms. Good. Now let's make that a little more fluid. We're doing it almost at the same time. Again, if you'll watch this first time and then join me. In that wedge guard again, left side forward, looking at my bad guy. And I'm going to shift. Shift. Good. You go ahead and join me. Left side forward and fluid. Go. 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 Good. Just takes a little bit of practice. But remember, shift your eyes first. That's really where you're looking, is at your bad guy. Then your guard will follow. All right. Let's go ahead with our next warm-up and look at the reversed elbow with the step through. So, for the step through reversed elbow, we're going to be in a parallel stance here. We're going to have that right arm up, palm in, about shoulder height, nice tight fist. We're going to go ahead and grab with the other arm. Now we're going to move the leg back that is the opposite leg to our striking arm. So here's our striking arm, so we're going to move this leg over here. So let's go ahead and do that together. I'll let you set up. We're going to step back, step through, strike. All right, let's try that again. Parallel stance, arms are the same. Step back, step through, strike. One more time slowly, then we'll speed it up just a little. Parallel legs, step back, step through, strike. Good. We're going to make it a little faster, a little more fluid. Follow along as best you can. Right now we're just warming up, so you're really just moving those muscles. All right, parallel stance, same arm is up. Step back, step through, strike. Good. One more on that side. Parallel legs. Step back, step through, strike. Good. Let's try the other side. Legs are the same, parallel. Left arm up, just grabbing with that other. Stepping back on that right leg. We'll take it slow this first couple times. We're stepping back, nice bent knees, don't forget that part. Step through, strike. Good, let's do the same thing again. Parallel legs. Step back, step through, strike. Good, one more time slow, we'll make it a little more fluid. Parallel legs, step back, step through, strike. Good, let's make it a little faster, a little more fluid. Parallel legs. Step back, step through, strike. Good, one more time. Parallel, step back, step through, strike. Good, we'll be practicing that in our lesson as well. Let's go ahead for the rest of our warm-up. We're going to look at the clench and knee. Pretty simple, nice way to get your body moving. Let's go left side forward in a front stance, nice and wide. We're going to clench, pull in, knee, knee, knee. Good, let's do that again. Clench, pull in, knee, knee, knee. Good. Clench, pull in, knee, knee, knee. Switch our legs. Going to be right side forward, otherwise we're doing the same thing. Clench, pull in, knee, knee, knee. Again. Clench, pull in, knee, knee, knee. One more time. Clench, pull in, knee, knee, knee. Good. All right. Last thing we're going to do in our warm-up is our open hand strike. Let's go ahead and left side forward in our wedge guard. We'll be doing 2 strikes for each count. So each time I call go, or if I call a number, we're going to do 1, 2. Make sure your knees are a little bit bent. Make sure you're using this palm part of your hand for your striking. All right. Into your guard. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Good. Switch sides. Again, you're in a wedge guard. Nice and high. 2 strikes for each count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Good. Let's go ahead and stretch now that we're nice and warm. Over to your right. Good. Over to the other side. Awesome. Let's get really nice and long. Up on tiptoes if you can. Reach those fingers really high. I want to feel the stretch along our sides. Awesome. We're going to go ahead and bend over and touch the floor. Should feel this up the back of your legs and in your low back. Good. Come back up. Let's put our hands on our low back and then we're going to bend back gently, not too far. Good. All right. Let's go ahead and do that rotation. You want to make sure when you're doing this that you really are rotating there from your middle. It's important. Those are kind of the muscles that we're trying to get warm, loose, ready to work. We do a lot of rotation in what we do. All right, let's take it higher. Same move, working slightly different muscles. Good. All right, let's go ahead and take our left arm out, excuse me. Kind of pull in with the other. This is good in your shoulder. Should feel that stretch there. And then we're just going to switch sides. Same thing, other side. Awesome. Go ahead and take that down. Let's go ahead and link those fingers. Push out, thumbs down. Little creaking and cracking is okay. You'll feel this in your fingers. You may feel it all the way up your arms. Take that up towards the ceiling. And share you can I. Awesome. So we're warmed up and we're stretched. Let's go ahead and jump into our lesson. We're going to start today with self-defense kata number 1. Now again this week we will be naming techniques. So pay attention to that. We'll go ahead and do that this direction, and we'll do it sideways for you, and both those times we'll be naming techniques. If you have any questions while you're doing this, you can go right back in the video and look again, or of course feel free to send any questions to Mr. Booker, and we can address that next week. But really you're just focusing on naming those techniques. Now, this is of course a walking kata, so once I say to begin, we'll actually start with those 3 steps, then we'll start naming the techniques. All right, so let's get into our ready stance. Begin. Jack Benny stance. Wedge guard. Foot stomp. Foot stomp. Elbow strike. Elbow strike. Elbow strike. Elbow strike. Palm heel strike. Palm heel strike. Palm heel strike. Palm heel strike. Open hand strike. Backhand strike. Open hand strike. Backhand strike. Clinch. Pull in. Knee. 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 Push off. Wedge guard. Shuffle step. Shuffle step. Second half. Wedge guard. Foot stomp. Foot stomp. Elbow strike. Elbow strike. Elbow strike. Elbow strike. Palm heel strike. Palm heel strike. Palm heel strike. Palm heel strike. Open hand strike. Backhand strike. Open hand strike. Backhand strike. Clinch. Pull in. Knee. 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 Push off. Wedge guard. Shuffle step. Shuffle step. Back to ready. Good. Let's go ahead and do that again. Again, this time I will also be naming techniques, so you'll go ahead and name those along with me. Into our ready position. Begin. Jack Benny stance. Wedge guard. Foot stomp. Foot stomp. Elbow strike. Elbow strike. Elbow strike. Elbow strike. Palm heel strike. Palm heel strike. Palm heel strike. Palm heel strike. Open hand strike. Backhand strike. Open hand strike. Backhand strike. Clench. Pull in. Knee. 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 Push off. Wedge guard. Shuffle step. Shuffle step. Wedge guard. Foot stomp. Foot stomp. Elbow strike. Elbow strike. Elbow strike. Elbow strike. Palm heel strike. Palm heel strike. Palm heel strike. Palm heel strike. Open hand strike. Backhand strike. Open hand strike. Backhand strike. Clinch. Pull in. Knee. 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 Push off. Wedge guard. Shuffle step. Shuffle step. Back to our ready stance. Kine. Now we're going to do this one more time. This time I'm going to do self-defense kata number 1, but I'd like you to name the techniques. I'm going to stay quiet. Just do your best. Don't let yourself be intimidated. You got this. To our ready stance. And begin. Great. Good job. If you have any questions about that, again, feel free to go back in the video or send any questions. We're happy to answer those for you. Again, remember, just focusing on naming the techniques right now. Don't have to be perfect at the pattern itself. All right, let's go ahead and move on to our second technique for the evening. We're going to look at that open hand strike. So, We will practice this in the air together. Then we're going to actually add some tools to work with. Our shield, our paddle or clapper target. And we're also going to look at a piece of cardboard this week. So we've been practicing a couple of different things that you can improvise at home, and we're going to try a new one this evening. Let's go ahead and start though by warming up in the air. We're going to go into our wedge guard, and we're going to be left side forward. Now, for each count with our open hand strike, we're going to be doing 4 strikes. So we're going to start with the back. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4. So again, make sure you're using the appropriate part of your hand. Make sure you got a little bit of a bend in your knees. That's really important for when you're rotating into those strikes. All right, so let's go ahead and get into position. And 1. Good. 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Switch sides. Again, we're in our wedge guard. A little bit of a bend to our knee. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Now, we are going to go ahead and add on to this. If you have a partner working with you, tell them to come on up, Miss Doubrley. So ideally for this, we normally use a paddle target or one of our clapper targets. If you don't have that, you can improvise. So we've shown before that you can use a piece of paper, or you can use the insole from a shoe. This week we're looking at handy piece of cardboard. This is something a lot of people have at home. So if you do, just cut you off a small piece. Now, it's a little bit smaller than what we may normally use. That just gives you a chance to work on your accuracy. Not a bad thing. So we'll go ahead and show you how this will work. Our partner's going to hold this out. They want to hold it nice and far. We don't want to take any chance with accidentally hitting our partner. That wouldn't be good. We're going to want to make sure we're hitting the cardboard. So we'll be in our wedge guard just like we normally be. We're doing that same open hand strike. You'll want to check your distancing. Good. Before you put too much power into it. But once your partner's ready and you've got your distance correct, we're going to go ahead and do those open hand strikes. Okay, let's try this together. Get into position and go. 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 Good. Cardboard works really well. So if that's what you have available, please feel free to use it. We're going to go ahead and move on to our clapper targets. Miss Doubrley's going to get that for us. Now, there is something that we'd like to add this week. In our stationary, as well as when we're working with our partner in the circling that we're going to do in just a little bit, we're going to add our voice to our self-defense this week. We're going to vocalize. We're going to say the word no. We're going to use that for each strike we make on the paddle target or on the clapper target. So let me show you what I mean here. We'll start stationary. Miss Doubrley's just going to hold that up. Again, she's nice and far away. I'm going to check my distance. Good. I think that works well. For each strike I make, I'm simply going to say no. I want it to be loud. I want it to be confident. I don't want it to be a question. I want it to be a command. We're trying to tell her she's not allowed to do whatever it is she's doing. So let's get into position. We are left side forward in our wedge guard. And 1. No, 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 no. 2. No, 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 no. 3. No, 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 no. 4. No, 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 no. 5. No, 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 no. Good. Other side, Miss Doubrley. Now we are switching so you can see, you can just change sides. Now, I know vocalizing can make you guys a little bit nervous. It's really, really effective self-defense. So you're at the safety of your own home. Don't hesitate. Really use that voice. All right. Let's go ahead and get into position. Again, we're going to check our distance. That changes each time, so you always want to make sure you're where you can get to your target. We are in our wedge guard, right side forward. We're still going to say no for each strike. 1. No, 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 no. 2. No, 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 no. Nice. Now, we're going to go ahead and do this exact same thing, but we're going to do just what we did last week, which was have our partner circle around us. If you'll just watch this first time, please, both you and your partner, so you're sure what you're doing, and then we'll have you join in. So I'm going to be sort of in the center here with a wedge guard. Either side forward's okay. We can switch guards in the middle. Miss Doubrley's going to have our target, whether that's a piece of paper or cardboard or our clapper target here. She's going to circle around the outside, and occasionally she's going to bring this target up. When she does, I'm going to do 4 open hand strikes, and I'm going to use my vocalization with each of those. So let me show you what's going to happen. When you're ready, Miss Doubrley. No, 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 no. Right back to your wedge. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Good, good. So that's what it's going to look like. I'm going to go ahead and have you and your partner join in now. So go ahead and find a little area you can use. Doesn't need to be a lot of space. Set up. I'm right side forward to my wedge guard if you'd like to do that as well. Don't be afraid to use your voice. Really important part of self-defense. Your partner can just lift it, and when they do, that's when you know to go ahead and do your strikes. Good. Good palm heel surface right here. Make sure there's a slight bend in your knees. All right. So you and your partner get in position. Miss Doubrley, when you're ready. Go ahead and switch your guard. So if you were doing right side forward, go ahead and switch to your left. Same technique, same thing we're doing, just practicing both of those sides. So let's go ahead and get back set up. Now if you haven't already, make sure you determine with your partner the best distancing for them to be around that allows you to effectively use your strikes. All right, let's go ahead and set back up with our partner. When you're ready. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Thank you, Miss Doubrley. Actually, it's a lot of fun. Makes it a little more realistic for you, gives you a great chance to use your voice in self-defense. Something that you should do anytime that you can. Again, if you don't have a partner, you can always practice that just by yourself in the air. That's very effective as well. All right, let's go ahead and move on to our last technique for the night. We're going to move on to our reverse elbow strike. Let's start with sort of our hand version, the more formal technique here. We're going to get into a nice front stance. I am left side forward right now. We're going to bring that right arm up, palm in, nice fist, about shoulder height. We're going to use that other hand, of course, as our striking surface for this first couple of exercises. So go ahead and set up. Now you'll need a nice bend in your knees. And then we're going to rotate, because we want to make sure we rotate into this. So go ahead and rotate that arm back. And for each count, we're just going to come through, strike our arm. All right? Let's get set up together. And 1. Good. 2. 3. 4. 5. Good. Switch sides for me. Right side forward. Got that left arm up. Right arm's out. We're just going to rotate in, slide. Okay? Bend to the knees. We're going to rotate back. And 1. Good. 2. 3. 4. 5. Very nice. If you have a partner who's going to work with you, go ahead and get your partner and ring them up. We're going to start by using a shield. Of course, if you don't have a shield, something like a couch cushion will work just fine. Do make sure if you're using sort of an improvised sort of tool that you take the power back just a little bit. These shields, of course, are fairly sturdy, but the elbows are also quite a powerful technique. So again, if you're using something improvised that isn't quite as thick, quite as hard, just take that power back just a little bit. So we're going to start again doing our stationary elbows on our shield or on our cushion. So for this, I'm going to go left side forward in a nice front stance, good and wide. I'm going to go ahead and put this right arm up. Going to go ahead and grab it with the other. We're again going to rotate, so you'll need your knees bent slightly. And then we're just going to come through for each count. All right? So you go ahead and get set up. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Let's try the other side. Now again, your partner doesn't have to move. We just do this so you guys can kind of see better. You can just switch sides. All right. So we're going to be set up slightly to the side here so that we can get a nice rotation into our shield. I've got my right side forward, so I'm going to go ahead and get that left arm up, palm in, shoulder high. I'm going to grab, bend to those knees, and we're just going to rotate in. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Thank you, Ms. Overton. We're going to practice a couple of our step through in the air. Then we're going to have our partner join us for that. It won't be long, Ms. Doubrley. We're just going to practice just a couple together in the air. Then we're going to bring our partner back to practice our step through. All right, for the step through, parallel legs. We'll go ahead and bring our right arm up. Grab with the other. So we're going to step back on the opposite leg. We're going to step back with our left. Go ahead and join me if you're not already. Okay. Step through that back leg and strike. This arm that we have up is the arm we're striking with. Let's try that on the other side. Parallel legs. We've got our left arm up, holding with the other. We're going to step back with that right leg. Okay. Step through the right and then strike. All right, let's go ahead and bring our partner back and try this with a partner. Come on up, Ms. Doubrley. If you don't have a partner working with you, that's okay. Practice it in the air just like we've been doing. So for this one, the setup is slightly different. We're going to have your legs parallel instead of one step back. For the arm that we're going to strike with, it's actually going to be touching that shield. So this arm right here is the one I'm going to do the striking with. I'm going to hold with the other arm. Going to step back on the opposite leg. Okay? Then we're going to step through and strike. Let's try that again. Parallel legs. My arm is on the shield. Step back. Step through. Strike. Good. Let's try it just a little more fluid, just a little bit faster. Step back, step through, strike. One more time, this side. Step back, step through, strike. Good. Let's go ahead and switch sides. Parallel legs, arm up, touching your shield, grab with the other. Again, we're going to step back with the opposite leg. So as you can see here, this leg is back. Step through, strike. Let's try that again. Step back, step through, strike. Good. Let's make it a little more fluid this time, a little bit faster. Step back, step through, strike. One more time. Be parallel. Step back, step through, strike. Good. Lovely. Thank you, Ms. Doubrley. That is the step through reverse elbow. I think that's a lot of fun. It's a great way to add power to that technique, which is already a nice technique as it is. Just takes a little practice. It's a little more challenging than the other varieties, but I know you guys can get this. More practice, more practice, more practice. It'll be perfect before you know it. That is what we're doing for tonight. We got to look at self-defense kata number 1, naming our techniques. We got to look at that open hand strike. Had the movement again this week, but we also added our voice in self-defense. We added our no. That doesn't feel quite normal to you. Practice it a little bit. Look at yourself in the mirror a few times this week and practice saying no. Say it confidently. Don't make it a question, make it a command. And see if you can make yourself believe it. So practice that. We also get to look at a reverse elbow strike, a really great technique, and the step through has a lot of, I think, fun to that one. So, things that we were building on for the past couple of weeks, making them better and better each week that we're moving forward. Now, think about these techniques, think about what your favorite is, and then during this strike testing week, go ahead and send us a video of you doing your favorite technique. We'd love to see it. All right, let's go ahead and make it official by bowing out. We'll let you guys go on with your evening. If you'll please join me. Shiryu, Kine. Student oath begin. I pledge to be a champion of freedom and justice. I pledge to observe the tenets of Taekwondo. I pledge to respect my instructors and my fellow students. I pledge never to misuse Taekwondo. I pledge to build a more peaceful world. Kine. Thank you guys for being here today. Remember, practice, practice, and if you don't have anything else to do, go ahead and practice a bit more. You guys take care, have fun, and we'll see you next time.